Hello guys, full time at Villa Park. Aston Villa 2, Arsenal 4. I cannot stop laughing about the own goal. It's so beautiful. It's such divine justice. We all knew Jorginho had great technique, but the precision he showed to knock that ball against the crossbar and back off Emi Martinez's head and into the net. Immaculate, perfect. It's moments like this in sport where you go, maybe this is destiny. Maybe there's a God, you know. The script is so perfectly written. Oh, you've got to love it. You've got to love it. Any goalkeeper who wastes as much time as that. And the referees don't help give them their comeuppance. You know, I think Martinez was booked in sort of the 84th minute. Sort of does nothing. You know, we know he's never going to give him a second booking. It almost feels like the officials wait to protect themselves from ever having to give that second booking. If I give him the first one on the 84th, then it will never be an issue. If I book him after 20 or 30, then what am I going to do? Send him off for 2 time-wasting offences? I don't want to be that guy. Well, why not, would be my question, especially when it's as deserved as it is today. Someone should count up how long he held the ball in this game. Well, listen, it led to 2 minutes of stoppage time, and Arsenal scored twice in it. Once off the back of Emi Martinez's head, and once because he came up to try and rescue things from a corner, left his own goal completely unprotected. Oh, mwah. Beautiful. I'm so happy. I didn't know I would feel like this at half time. What was the score at that point in time? 2-1. And Arsenal didn't look themselves. It was a bit reminiscent of maybe the Everton game in terms of sort of not really getting going. We conceded 2 sloppy goals, I think, defensively. Great finishes and well worked from an Aston Villa perspective, but I think, you know, William Saliba would want to get tighter to Ollie Watkins, who seems to sort of become a different player when he plays against Arsenal, a much better one. It's very frustrating. And I think the whole team will look at the ease with which Villa cuts apart on the second goal and be disappointed. In between those, Bukayo Saka struck a fantastic equaliser. But we just weren't getting going. There were things that weren't happening. Zinchenko, I thought, was having one of his poorer games. Odegaard couldn't get in the game. Nketiah didn't have a sniff. Second half, a lot changed. And Arsenal looked like Arsenal again. The pressing from the front three was better. Odegaard was, I think, fantastic. It looked like he might be the fall guy by missing a really presentable chance at one point. But if you look at his second half, especially as compared to the first half, he was brilliant. Zinchenko was much better. Nketiah really started putting pressure on the goalkeeper, the defenders. It led to that Odegaard chance. He was a bit unlucky with a fantastic header which hit the bar. Arsenal looked like Arsenal, and this is a huge win because a big defeat can have a hangover, right? And I think to be honest, the Goodison Park defeat has had a bit of a hangover. And then I think the Man City defeat, which obviously had big implications in the title race, could have had an even bigger one. And maybe we saw some of that in that first half. But a big win can provide an injection of momentum. And in the space of 45 minutes, Arsenal transformed the mood and the energy around the club. And Mikel Arteta will be so satisfied. And I think it's a real comeback to anyone who's been calling them bottlers this week or saying they choked. You know, when the pressure was on today, they dug out a result that they absolutely had to. And it takes them top of the league. Probably not for long. I'm sure Man City are already beating Nottingham Forest. I'm not even sure they kicked off yet. But I expect them to win that game and go top again. But I just think for the trajectory of Arsenal's season, this was such an important result. And that last 20 minutes was chaotic. I mean, anything could have happened. In the second half, we turned it around. Zinchenko first goal for the club, really good finish at the near post. Again, it skips through Watkins' legs. He just doesn't close his legs in time. You know, these games are decided by such tight margins, literally millimetres probably from keeping that ball out. Then it was 2-2. Villa went up the other end. Arsenal was sort of looking for the winner, but leaving themselves a bit open. Bailey had that shot, which I think was really well saved by Ramsdale. The speed at which that struck and the relative proximity to him, I think it's a pure reflex save and a really important one. Gabriel had another massive moment in the penalty box, just stepping in and making a critical challenge. To lose, having come from behind twice, would have been devastating. Instead, we went on and win it, and it's Jorginho who, you know, strikes that ball so beautifully. I thought Jorginho was really good on the ball today, I have to say. I thought his passing was outstanding. Maybe off the ball, you could have some queries. Is he at Partey's level? Almost certainly not physically. But technically and tactically, I thought his use of the ball was really, really good. And I think he looks like a smart signing. I think he looks certainly better than Sambi Lokonga, and perhaps better than El Neni as well, who's obviously not available. A signing we had to make and one we did. I wondered when he came in if he'd have a sort of big Kim Chalstrom moment that we'd remember him by if he's not here super long term. Well, perhaps that was today. Brilliant hit. You know, in that pressure, in that moment, last chance potentially. Brilliant hit. And then we put the sheen on it with Gabriel Martinelli, who had gone quite a while without a goal, needed one, and he got it today. I think he got an assist as well. Well, it depends if you count it as an assist, really, for the Jorginho strike. But Vieira did well. You know, a lot of times, goalkeeper comes up into the box and teams break clear and they waste the opportunity. I thought Vieira, you know, he was patient. He saw the run of Martinelli. There's no one else you'd want really sprinting away from centre-halves. Vieira and Martinelli were celebrating long before the ball hit the net. And then you get those scenes at full time, the scenes in the stands, scenes among the players and stuff. I gather, a lot of people asked me if I was at the game because people said, I think Simon Collins said that there was a bit of trouble in the press box with celebrations. I think it was from the Arsenal analysts rather than any journalists. But who knows? There are a few Arsenal fans among the travelling journalist contingent. Big win. I just think a defeat particularly would have sort of seen our season spiralling a bit and just been a huge blow to morale, confidence. We would have had to stop talking about the title, to be honest, because you can't go that many games without a win in this league and continue talking about the title. I think this result keeps that conversation alive, but crucially, it's just a 90 minutes in which we saw Arsenal look like Arsenal again. And that could be really important. It's a tough away game next week as well against a resurgent Leicester. Much more to say about this game. You'll hear from me on the Arscast Extra with Andrew on Monday. But yeah, credit to the team that, you know, the pressure was on. They had a very short turnaround before this game and they came through and they delivered. Whew, man, that own goal, very funny.